In today's Pro Bike Check, we're going to take a look at Anneke Beerten's GT Force Expert. The Dutch racer Anneke Beerten races the full Enduro World Series for GT, normally on a sanction, but the flatter courses, like here at Sea Otter, she prefers this Force. It's 150mm travel with a 170mm fork, full carbon frame. The Force uses GT's PathLink to produce 150mm of travel on the rear. This RockShox Monarch Plus air shock takes care of business at the back. And up front we've got that Lyric from RockShox as well. 170mm travel, so it's slightly larger than normal. And that jacks up the front end, slackens the bike out a little bit, and it's great for the faster courses. Up to the cockpit, we've got this Raceface Atlas 50mm stem with the Raceface 660 carbon handlebars. They're 760mm wide. You can see Anneke's got a couple of spare 5mm spaces on top of that stem, so that she can play around with handlebar height, again, probably to suit the course she's racing on. Full SRAM build on this bike. You've got the Guide Ultimate brakes and this, what is it, XX1 shifter running the 1x11 system at the back. Lizard skin foam grips, really nice touch actually. Foam grips are super comfortable. Comfort is key when you're racing enduro, and you can be on the bike for an awful long time. The wheels are supplied by Stans, the Neo hubs and these Flow ZTR rims. Something I noticed about these rims, they're really actually quite a square profile to them, and they're really wide. There's an unmarked, or unnamed should I say, Vittoria front tyre. It's really big and blocky. Apparently these have just reached production, but there's no name on it. But to me, that looks like a really big, wide, aggressive tyre. The brake rotors are 200mm front and rear. So again, kind of typical of an enduro race bike, where they're really quite exotic and light for the most part, then actually quite overbuilt when it comes to tyres and brakes. Those racers really like those big, strong components. The rear tyre, again, supplied by Vittoria. This time it's a 2.35, really low profile, fast rolling tyre. The bike is 650B, if I've not said that already. SRAM XX1 rear derailleur takes care of the shifting on the back, and it's a 1x system, so no front mech. Instead, you've got this E13 TRS chain device, just making sure that chain doesn't pop off that chainring. You've got the 32 tooth chainring up front. Anneke runs 170mm cranks, and at the end of those, we've got these Crank Brothers Mallet E clippers pedals. Anneke's got this RockShox Reverb dropper post, the Stealth Edition, so the hose runs down the seat tube and up to the remote lever. Obviously, Anneke runs a 1x system, so she runs her dropper lever under the handlebars on the left-hand side. Anneke runs her front brake on the left, rear on the right. We've got a WTB Volt saddle. So Anneke, we're checking out your Force. You've got a few different options at GT, different bikes to ride. EWS, you normally use the Sanction. How do you choose the bike you're going to race on?
Yeah, like at the first two EWS races, I decided to ride on my Sanction bike. It has a little bit more travel than the Force. So if I know on forehand that the track is like a little bit easier, I prefer to ride the Force because it's a little bit lighter, a lighter bike, a little bit less travel. But if I know that I'm going to like places where like the tracks are super downhill and hard, then I pick the Sanction.
Do you ever take the bikes, you know, a couple of bikes with you and choose when you get there, or do you go prepared and think that's the bike I need?
I prefer to go with one bike, because it kind of starts messing with your head if you're going to start practicing on two bikes. And most of the courses, you know, like we've been before, just not the first two this year. So that's why I said like, okay, I'm gonna go for the biggest bike, because then I'm always sure that I have enough travel to get down the hill.
When it comes to setup, this is GT's a new team for you this year. Does it take a while to set the bike up? Are you really fussy with your bike setup?
I'm not too fussy, I would say. Like it helped that like I stayed on SRAM and RockShox, you know, and all their components, so that was all the same. It was just getting used to the bike. And last year I rode mainly 29er with Specialized, and this year it's 27.5, and I'm absolutely loving it. And it didn't take any time to get used to it. I was like a day, and I was used to it.
Whilst you're here, you might as well check out some more videos, and if you click just up there, that'll take you through to the full Pro Bike playlist, or click down there and Anneke's teammate Martin Mays will show you how to race enduro.
And click here to subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up if you like Anneke's bike.
Thumbs up!